So, I got to thinking back on something. I remember back in 2016, I finally gave in to watching this movie with my dad. Movie called Billy Jack, and I fell in love with the movie. With my family on my father's side having Native American history, we have some Cherokee in us. Grandmother, not full blooded. She's on the Baker rolls. There are two different types of rolls, and she's on the Baker rolls, and she knew she had Native American blood, but she didn't know how much. So they did really couldn't put a quantity exactly on there for that. But she is recorded as one of the Native Americans on the Baker rolls, and so majority of my life, my dad wanted to show me for my own self-defense purposes and protection is martial art. I had no clue about martial arts besides watching Steven Seagal and Bruce Lee's and some Jackie Chan and Jet Li movies coming up as a young man, pretty much, and I had no clue what style it was. I knew there was different styles, but I had no clue until the winter of 2018 when I got more serious and didn't just want to learn kicks from it, fancy like kicks and being kind of taekwondo style ish. Um, so I learned that my father's style was a style called Tetsuken Ryu. His instructor was Joe Strickland, who studied under a person called Dr. Church. It was supposed to be a kind of like freestyle, similar to the idea of self-defense or street fights and all that, sounding like Bruce Lee stuff. And my dad had some JKD concepts he put into it. And it wasn't until the winter of 2018 I really got serious about it, and I done it for 6 months. The majority of the stuff I was able to study at that time, my dad was only able to instruct me, couldn't really coach me as much with it. And I know my dad was, from what he told me, was among the top students in the class. He never reached the black belt level. He was among the top students. He just never got to the top to get a black belt. I forget how many dans on the belt his instructor had or whatever, because I remember he telling me something about they got dans on each like belt or their first dan. They had to register their hands and all that, which I hear on the majority of YouTube people nowadays. That was all a big old scam just to get martial arts in trouble and a joke to them. I have no clue, but so anyway, there was that, and so I put out plenty of videos in the past, being my own guinea pig, trying different stuff, murder different people. I found out, and I had no clue that almost for any passion I had, there was already tons of other people talking about it on YouTube. Just about, I had no clue until that winter, getting more into it. There was such a large community of martial arts YouTubers and channels discussing martial arts stuff out there. So anyway, I remember also that when I saw a commercial for our now former mayor, who owns the Fitness World Gym, he was doing a standing up for the silent, I believe it was called, a thing he was doing for kids to teach them karate against people bullying or something. And he doesn't do it no more. I guess he figured out he could make more money with the gym thing than with the karate class for kids. Although usually most of that today probably is a lot more for easier to get clients than our actual fighters. Because probably the most high flyers I imagine go to the actual fighting gyms of MMA divisions. And they all don't just start out there, but that's probably where they're at. Plenty of them probably went to other gyms and eventually went on to that, or found a way somebody maybe liked what they did and signed them up. Not really sure. Anyway, so I kind of learned the stuff for self-defense, but I also learned a little bit of the style. The style started to get in the 6 months that I practiced it. I got pretty good with it, got more flexible, more stable, more better at being a less clumsy person, big as I am, in such a small little world. LOL. Yeah, then later I started looking at other stuff. This concept, this mindset, I always had the reality of fights happening at a close range distance. I love a lot of Nick DeRosa's videos. I don't like as much stuff as I used to about it because I think there's this thing that's, I think it's been going for a long time, even when traditional martial arts was a thing before MMA got that big. I think it's even kind of worse now in some ways, even though you probably see it more than traditional martial arts people doing these videos than mixed martial arts. But even Boss Rutan's old bar videos, it kind of steps at the more idea of somebody trying to start a problem with you in a place you probably shouldn't maybe have been in the first place. And before they even do anything, just giving you signs they're about to do something to kind of like hit them first, which technically, legally today by law, that's just assault. And so I look at that as the same way a lot of traditional martial arts videos, this and that, either that or somebody tries to hit you and then you do a block and you punch them back or you take them down into the ground and then you do this move and that move and who knows what. Either that or you got a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu crowd. I don't know if they actually do. The people that do it actually would just pull guard or just tackle somebody and take them down to the ground like that and try to stay down there with them. I've really no clue, but the way people talk about it sure seems that way. And I don't think immediately every time somebody goes to the ground, a whole crowd of people is going to randomly jump out and get in every time. But there is always the possibility, not guarantee, that somebody might have a knife or something on them, being that close to them with such things. I look at the idea of any martial arts saying, "Oh, just do this, just do that." I love Izzo Wing Chun's. Even before I even started liking the dude's channel, I used to not like him a long time ago that much. I trying to get close to this. I remember one time at a friend's house, and dude's stepbrother was like, "Why don't you fully extend when you hit the bag and all this?" Because he was a boxer and he was so focused on that. Because I'm trying to practice for actual self defense. I use a lot more hand palm again and even doing punches on stuff because I didn't have the bag in the beginning. I just had a board. But it was really my knife throwing boards, two of them about 7 foot tall, about an inch thick. I found them in the woods surprisingly at my cousin's house. Anyway, so yeah, all that. And the more and more I go to it, the way Izzo looks at Wing Chun for his wrestling, the mindset, is more what I draw to for using my own version of it I'm turned into from my dad's style of doing it my way into that for actual realisticness. I still practice the art for the art just for fun sometimes, but actual actuality. I just see his mindset about how fights actually go and closing that gap and being closer to people instead of trying to keep the distance. And mainly, I favor that in my mind mentally more, is because I'm 6'5". If somebody, am I bigger than most people? Yeah. But unless, of course, somebody is really small and scrawny, the idea of me being taken down by a person isn't really that great. I probably could, with the power of my kicks and whatnot, maybe, on such smaller people. But also, I live in America. A lot of more people in America are getting more obese. People have more weight. And another reason why I'm trying, I actually believe there is a possibility for supposed anti-grappling or grappling stuff in karate with the lower stances instead of a more taller stance, like the more seen displays. Not display. What would it be? I don't know the exact name for a style, whatever. But I've seen some low ones in competition. I've seen some high ones. And I really think more people should get in more lower stances for karate. Jesse Enkamp gets in a lot of lower stances, way lower than most other people. Sensei says the one kind of low, but not low in the same way. Their legs just spread more further out than most people, I think. That old video when Jesse Enkamp did Jake Mace, when Jesse went in for his entry, he dropped his weight, kind of like the old style of boxing saying, sit down on your punches, which makes me think of the Dempsey falling step mentioned by Ramsey Dewey for your entry to sink your weight, pretty much. So yeah, basically the point I'm trying to get across is I favor this for me personally. I still like doing some stuff, the art for the art, but I'm going to try to practice more lower line kicks. I'm going to try to do more lower to the ground stuff because I've already got plenty of videos on many of about 3 or 4 different social media platforms showing me doing different mobile kicks on one thing, showing me doing high fancy kicks, showing me doing all this different stuff. Videos showing of me punching trees with my hands, everything, all that fun stuff. I done it. I've been my own guinea pig. I done proved to myself I've done it. I proved on videos. I'm done with that. If anybody don't like it, the heck with you. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to go on for my future for actuality of it. Which I remember of Jesse Inkamp also mentioned the original karate masters when they actually fought didn't care about looking fancy and trying not to lose. They just wanted to get in there and just do it. So yeah. Plus, even where my flexibility is right now, because I'm taller than most people, my leg still gets up higher than the average person would think. Because I do have long legs. So as always, thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Give me some feedback, and I'll see y'all folks around.